Move production from our facility in Indianapolis to Monterrey, Mexico.
Indianapolis is busy, hosting convention goers and business meetings. But the historic engine of Indiana's economy churns just outside the city center, in manufacturing neighborhoods where factory workers live and union members gather in halls like this one for United Steelworkers Local 1999.
A lot of businesses have left.
This union represents some workers at Carrier, a unit of industrial giant United Technologies. You may have heard the name Carrier before.
Carrier. Anybody from Carrier?
Carrier says they're leaving.
Carrier air conditioner.
You're tired of seeing Carrier leave your state?
Yeah, that air conditioning factory there in Indianapolis. Okay, we make furnaces. So someone needs to tell your PR guy, hey man, they make furnaces, they don't make air conditioners.
And I told him.
Yeah, and Chuck's big mouth told him.
TJ makes more than $20 an hour connecting the gas valve on heating furnaces found in homes across the country.
We take pride in what we do. I mean, when we see a Carrier furnace in someone's house, we're like, well, we built that. You know, we had a hand in that. And we still do to this day, even though we know this company stabbed us in the back.
Which TJ says happened a few months ago.
It became clear that the best way to stay competitive and protect the business for long term is to move production from our facility in Indianapolis to Monterrey, Mexico.
I mean, you're taking our livelihoods away. Just shock and awe and confusion and just upset. I mean, I've been there 14 years.
The labor is much cheaper in Mexico, where minimum wage is about $4 a day.
The trade bill that is directly influenced on this Carrier move is NAFTA, which was put in by President Bill Clinton.
But why do you think Carrier made the decision now?
The shareholders were having a hard time with the profits that they were getting.
This is all driven by what?
Corporate greed and unfair trade.
Let's take those one at a time. First, unfair trade, a rallying cry of Donald Trump's campaign.
The single worst trade deal ever done. It's called NAFTA.
But business researcher Carol Rogers says it's not that simple. Can we blame the free trade agreements?
I don't think so. I view that as kind of cutting off your nose to spite your face, because then we're not going to be able to sell our stuff outside of the United States.
So Trump is wrong?
I think so, yes.
She points to the numbers. Exports from Indiana had doubled in 20 years, even when adjusting for inflation. That's more than 10% of the state's economy, plus all the jobs the exports support. Indiana's biggest customers? Canada and Mexico. Free trade advocates argue that you want to be selling to billions of people around the world, not just the 320 million customers in the U.S.
International business is actually an important part of American businesses being successful.
Jennifer Rumsey is an executive at Cummins, a major manufacturer and employer in the state.
About 70% of the product that we produce here gets exported.
In terms of the places around the world where this kind of machinery, these kinds of engines could be assembled, where are they? Obviously Europe may be one region of the world. Where else?
India has certainly got the capability to do that.
India must have really cheap labor compared to U.S. labor.
Labor is only one element of any manufacturing cost. So what is your quality? What is your efficiency rate? We can't compete with that hourly rate. No point suggesting that we could.
Bottom line, America has to be innovative. The country can't compete on wages alone. That means giving up certain jobs. The benefit should be cheaper goods. It's been happening for years.
I haven't seen where it makes the goods cheaper. The companies they're making more profit.
So is it the trade deals or corporate greed that's behind Carrier's moving jobs to Mexico?
All these people see is dollar signs.
The business unit that includes Carrier had an operating profit of just under $3 billion in 2015. And when CNN Money asked Carrier about the move, the company provided this statement: "We must continue to protect our business in a relentlessly competitive global marketplace." And to soften the blow, the company plans to support a slew of retraining and education opportunities for the employees losing their jobs. So the question is, what'll happen to the 1,400 workers at Carrier who will be laid off?
The economy is going to be able to absorb those workers.
As of July, there were more than 3,000 manufacturing job postings in Indiana, according to the state.
Carrier workers are really in they're not going to see it this way, but they're really in an advantageous slot because they qualify for the trade assistance, retraining, monetary support that goes beyond unemployment checks.
Are those programs effective?
We tend to think that not enough people take advantage of it. I don't know why people wouldn't take advantage of it.
Well, they must be angry and frustrated, right?
And I can appreciate that they're angry and frustrated, but I also think that they need to think about themselves as having skills. They can improve their competitiveness.
Chuck is not convinced.
What they ain't telling you is one of the qualifications on some of these jobs you're creating is you gotta be able to say, do you want French fries with that?
And that's what a lot of this comes down to, wages. How will working people in America make more money? And how does America ensure that everyone gets some benefit out of globalization?
When we vote, when we go out and we vote, we have to vote for our jobs.
People get caught up on issues, guns, God, and gays.
I'll always believe that marriage is between one man and one woman.
We are going to be so strong with our Second Amendment. Believing in God, so important.
These guys are voting with their wallets.
He said, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You didn't really tell me how. I mean, you say all this stuff about jobs, but, I mean, this guy is an entertainer. He's a clown. You know, if he's so big on Carrier, where's he at? You know, he's got the money, he can buy this plant. But he's not doing that.